This is Rennes-le-Château. It is a small village located in southern France and was the subject of the 1980s bestseller Holy Blood, Holy Grail. Some of you have heard of it, but chances are most of you probably haven't. Even if you haven't heard of Holy Blood, Holy Grail, chances are you have heard of the Da Vinci Code. This small village and the mystery surrounding it was the basis for the book and movie. Many people have researched a small village in an attempt to uncover its secrets. However, more often than not, more questions are raised than answered. I began researching this subject myself 9 years ago, and the discoveries that I have made are now the subject of this project. Before I go into describing these finds, it is necessary for you to have some background information so you understand the context of what these discoveries mean. As the legend goes, in 1891 there was a young priest by the name of Béranger Saunière who was doing renovations on the church in the village. While doing these renovations, he discovered 2 parchments that had the appearance of being very old. Soon after, the priest traveled to Paris. He had meetings with other priests and acquired copies of paintings held in the Louvre before traveling back to the small village. Upon his return, the priest appeared to obtain a substantial amount of funds with no explanation, giving out lavish gifts to the villagers and building a tower dedicated to Mary Magdalene on the grounds of the church. However, the priest never revealed how he gained the resources to take on these projects, and took his secrets to his grave with him in 1917. Since then, the documents that the priest allegedly found have surfaced, and with them come hidden messages speaking of treasure and Renaissance artists. It is in these hidden messages that famed Renaissance artist Nicolas Poussin makes his first appearance in connection with the small French village. Ever since I began looking into this subject, that is where I have kept my focus, and it has paid off immensely. What I have found shows that Nicolas Poussin very probably had knowledge of this small little French village, and on top of that, had a very detailed knowledge of what may have been hidden there as well. Rather than tell you about these finds, I would much rather show them to you and let them speak for themselves. What I will tell you is that Poussin's painting, The Shepherds of Arcadia, has been a central painting in figuring out this mystery. Included in this painting is the background image of a mountain which many have looked for in the area around Rennes-le-Château as a possible clue. What nobody else has found is this mountain appears more than once in the works of Nicolas Poussin. However, it is not easy to find. To find the mountain, you have to treat 4 different paintings like puzzle pieces, connecting them to create one long 4-painting wide image. What's more is that Nicolas is not the only Poussin to include this mountain in his paintings. And on top of all of it, it matches with an actual mountain that is only a few short miles away from Rennes-le-Château. This fundraising campaign is an attempt to expand on these finds and discover what is so special about this mountain. I would like to share these discoveries with you, but before I do, I want to put on screen a letter sent by somebody who knew Nicolas Poussin personally. The letter was addressed to the man's brother, who was an advisor to King Louis XIV. In it, he reveals that Poussin may very well have had valuable knowledge. What this knowledge was, and how it relates to this mountain near the village of Rennes-le-Château, is what we aim to find out. So now we have a priest who came into untold riches without explanation, and a painter who is mentioned in coded parchments that placed a hidden image of a mountain near the village across 4 different paintings. The finds that I have shown you so far in this video are only the tip of the iceberg. We will be releasing more information throughout the campaign in the form of clue videos. In these videos, we will be detailing the hotspots, or locations in the area that have been taken from hidden messages and clues, paintings, and even just history of the area. I have attached the first clue video, the shadow map, to the end of this one, to give you an idea of what you can expect in the weeks to come during the fundraising campaign. Not all of these clues are fully solved. Some of them lead to hotspots, but have much more information to be found in them. On top of that, any of your donations gets you access to the TRIP website once the campaign is funded. Now, on this website, I will be giving daily updates in the form of picture galleries, web videos, and the biggest thing to help shape the content, polls to see which hotspots I will be looking what days. At the end of production, you will be able to say that you not only contributed to making this film financially, but helped shape the content in it as well. So check out our campaign website to find out what you can not only help create, but what you can experience if you donate to this project. I guarantee that you will not be disappointed. So here we are with our first clue video for the project, the shadow map. This clue centers around the painting The Shepherds of Arcadia, in which 4 characters are standing around a tomb, 2 of which are pointing to a phrase in Latin. Now, a lot of researchers think that this tomb actually existed in the area, and there was in fact a tomb that looked exactly like it and was around at the time Henry Lincoln published Holy Blood, Holy Grail. However, it has since been destroyed, so it would be hard to tell if that was actually the case. But that's not what we're going to be focusing on. What we're focusing on here is the details that Poussin left us. Now, Poussin was a master painter who obviously had a lot of attention to detail with his ability to put a hidden image across 4 different paintings. So anything that looks like it may be a mistake very well could be intentional. So what we're looking for here is the shadows on the tomb of the character in the very front. Now what you'll notice is that his elbow and hand do not match the curvature that he actually has his arm. And on top of that, his torso is up and down on the shadow, as opposed to horizontal, how he actually is standing. So what does that mean in relation to Bucharest? So here we have an overhead view of what the mountain looks like on the top. Now this may or may not have been known to Poussin, but if the shape matches, it very well could be that he was trying to give us, in relation to Bucharest, where something would be hidden. So if we place the map of Bucharest on top of the tomb, they do in fact seem to match up. On top of that, we have 2 characters, both pointing to areas that would be right around the mountain if that was in fact what Poussin was saying. So here we have our first 2 of many hotspots, and that is the shadow map.